Hi, welcome to Startup Tips and Tricks. I'll be sharing my experience as a startup founder with you, and also introducing startups in Vancouver and Japan. So today we're going to talk about the three roles, the three hats in a startup, the three-hat triangle. As a startup, you'll be wearing a lot of hats. You might be a marketer one day, you might be a developer, you might be a salesperson. But today we're going to talk about specifically three roles: one director, two shareholder, and three individual. So let's go on with the video. So today we're going to talk about the three roles, the three hats that are within you as a founder of a startup. The three roles, as I explained, would be director, shareholder, and individual. I want to talk about 3 points, giving you more examples and context about what I'm talking about. The first point is you need to acknowledge that you have these three hats. So point number 1, acknowledge that you have three roles within yourself. So again, the three roles are director, shareholder, and individual. So director, most of the time when you're working in your company, you are wearing your hat as a director. You'll be making decisions on who to hire, what functions and features should be added in your product, and etc. That's the director's role. The second point is the shareholder's role. As the founder of a startup, you're more likely to be a shareholder. How much shares you have within the company doesn't really matter. You may have splitted your shares with your co-founders, or you might have invited external investors onto your company. It doesn't matter about the percentage, it matters that you understand that you are a shareholder and that you might be thinking from a shareholder's point of view. The third one is individual. As an individual, of course, you have your personal interests. You have your hobbies, your family, your friends, all sorts of interests you have. And they'll be completely personal. That doesn't really matter. You need to understand that you have your personal interests and needs, and sometimes they will conflict with your other roles. So point number 2 is to understand which point of view, which perspective you're talking from. So again, most of the decisions, discussions you will have in the company will come from a director's point of view. That will be probably most common. But for some discussions, you might be mixed up or confused. You might not agree upon something, on a decision, because you are thinking from another point of view. This is often very confusing because you yourself, although you're wearing those three hats, you are the same person, and it's within you that you have those roles. So number 3, is the important part, is to understand where that conflict is coming from. So one example of one of the most common conflicts you would have is how much should you pay yourself? From an individual point of view, you want to maximize your salary, your compensation as much as possible. That will make your life much more easier and give you more options of how to go about your life. But if you look from a director's point of view, the view is different. You will notice that other directors, other co-founders, might not be receiving as much. You want to kind of balance that relatively. You don't want to create any conflict within the other founders or other members in the company. So you start thinking, okay, how should I balance that? Then there's a third one, shareholder. As a shareholder, you're interested in return of investment or return on equity. You want to know how much impact your money, your investment will make. So you kind of think, okay, this money, should it go, toward a director's compensation, or should we just hire another person? Should we use it more on like programming, development for products? So allocation of a resource and how the investment is wisely used would be an interest of a shareholder. So kind of out of that example, you understand that, well, your compensation, your salary would be quite different. Your salary would be quite different depending on how you look at it. Another point might be work style. You as an individual might want to work from home or anywhere if possible. But from a director's point of view, you might notice that you need to be in the office most of the time to manage your staff efficiently and to build that culture within the company. Conflicts may arise when you have an M&A opportunity. You as an individual might not like that company and not be interested in selling off your company. But from a shareholder's point of view, this might make total sense. Now, there's no golden rule or silver bullet to solve all these conflicts. You need to start being aware that these conflicts will come about, and also understand where those conflicts are happening. If you're a new startup founder, you might find this very confusing. So acknowledging which roles you're looking at this issue is important in finding that conflict and sorting it out. Will give you a framework and understanding of how to go forward. So this is about the three-hat triangle. Only with the director and shareholder, there's this thing called agency problem. The agency problem is a serious issue that it has its own large field of studies. Corporate governance is pretty much all about solving this agency problem. So we might talk about this in another video going forward. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I hope this video brought some value to you. I'll be talking more about my tips, tricks as a startup founder and sharing my experience in future videos. So if you're interested, please subscribe. And if you have found anything that was interesting within this video, please hit the like button. And I'll see you in the near future. Bye. So today I'm doing my video in Marybiz office. So this is one of the meeting rooms. And I can probably do a little tour today.